I meet so many managers who do not dare challenge behaviour.
In working with organisations, what I find the most problematic behaviour is avoidance. So it's actually the avoidance of dealing with those behaviours.
Should I go there? Should I challenge this behaviour? Isn't it easier just to ignore or avoid or tolerate?
You don't really want to do it. You sort of know you got to, but you kind of hope they grow out of it.
Oh, for heaven's sake, where's the manager? This is nonsense.
They're afraid of being accused of harassment, of bullying. The magic T word, tribunal, is on the tip of everybody's lips.
Their starting point is to think, well, if I challenge them on this, this is going to make things a lot worse between us.
You better sort this out. I mean it. This is absolutely bloody ridiculous.
Please don't swear at me, Mrs. Kusamana. I'm trying to help you.
Some of the stuff she says, it's just embarrassing.
One of the key kind of aspects of problem behaviour at work is about everybody that experiences it actually asking themselves, why do we allow that to happen? Why is that okay? And what does it do to us as individuals that are around it?
I hear he left his last school under a bit of a cloud.
Why?
I don't know. I just heard there was some kind of trouble and, you know, he'd been given the push.
They were awful, really rude people, and they always changed things at the last minute, and they never paid us on time. We had to keep chasing them up. Nightmare.
When you get those sort of problem behaviours, to a greater or lesser extent, you get little problems. And what tends to happen is the problems tend to escalate if they're not dealt with.
It's costly. You cannot afford to ignore it.
Just email me and tell me what you need to do and I'll sort it out, okay?
All of us, particularly when we're under pressure, can exhibit things that our colleagues may find difficult, and that may include you.
She won't delegate and she won't trust anyone with anything. She doesn't think that anyone could do a good as job as she can, basically.
All relationships need maintenance, and I need periodically to think about my relationship skills and how am I going to approach this person.
I know that show. You're going to need someone from ops, okay? I'll come up for it.
It's a complete disaster. You and I, we've got to pick up the pieces.
You know, the people at work you most need to speak to, paradoxically, are the people you least want to speak to.
The bottom line is believing, understanding and embodying the fact that as managers, as leaders, we are just as entitled to be respected and have good behaviour around us and be treated well as anybody else.
No! Don't you dare when we're working! How many times have I told you? And you're going to need this if we're going to be preparing more food.
Intervening and doing something is nearly always going to make it better rather than worse.
Well, I said, there's no way I'm doing that. I mean, you're supposed to get paid a better rate for preparing food. I ain't doing extra work for no money.
Initially, it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but it's probably going to lead to a situation where you understand each other better and you've got the basis of building a positive relationship.
Yeah, well, I went to go and speak to my supervisor about it, and by the time I got back, she'd done it all herself. Result or what?
Yeah, I'll do it.
But you're off on leave next week, Jack.
It's fine, honestly.
If there is one thing that psychology teaches us, it's that psychological distancing from other people's stuff. That if I'm managing you, then I am your manager, not your therapist, not your counsellor, not your mother, not your father, and to avoid the kind of parenting trap.
Olivia, for goodness sake, you sound like you're his mum. If he wants to do it, let him.
The costs are off the scale in terms of wasted time, absenteeism, stress, inefficiently done jobs and so on and so forth. And that's all because people aren't at a micro level tackling behaviour which is problematic.
You may not become best friends with everyone you work with. Actually, maybe that's not the goal. It would be nice if it happens. Maybe the goal is to get to strong, positive professional relationships. And it's doing that that's going to help you to do your job well, be effective, and feel good about coming to work.
The toolkit, if I can call it that, is really about these difficult people skills, but the difficult people skills are really simply human relationship skills. People who are good at it do better, those who aren't struggle.